Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. Hey, Shalom. And these are very exciting times that we're in, and we're getting closer and closer every day to the kingdom of heaven. So hey, these are beautiful times. This is a video. It's titled from Sky News, China's embassy in U.S. warns it's ready to fight to the end over trade war. So what's to the end? We already know the end of this place is going to be ICBMs, thermonuclear destruction. So let's hope everything it escalates to this point, because eventually we know it has to, and it's not going to be no 1,000 years. We're hoping this within the next few months, this thing escalates so bad. But I'm just go ahead and play this video.
Heard from the Chinese embassy in the United States. They put out a really strong statement. They said, in case of a trade war or any other type of war, we are ready to fight till the end. Now that was...
So they said a trade war or any other type of war. They said we're down for whatever, fool. It's like, just...
repeat of a statement that came out from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs here in Beijing yesterday, and clearly China is wanting to make a very strong point. They have put that statement out twice now. And it is interesting when you look at the change of tone, because over the last decade, what we've seen in China is a softening of the diplomatic language, but that now seems to be being reeled in to some extent. China is sounding increasingly frustrated with this tariff tit for tat. They went in swiftly and hard yesterday with their own retaliatory tariffs against the United States, and now this really strong language, striking language, coming out 2 days in a row.
So you should already know all this tariffs and stuff like that. You citizens, you Babylonians, we're here in Babylon, the hopeful elect. We're going to be feeling the brunt of the tariffs. We're going to be feeling that crunch. You Babylonians, most of all, because y'all have no idea why this is happening. You're just hoping for ease, hoping it get better, whatnot, when in reality, things are going to get worse and worse. But this is going to escalate. This trade war is going to escalate into a physical war. This physical war is going to escalate to a nuclear war. The nuclear war is going to escalate into a nuclear holocaust. The nuclear holocaust is going to turn into this place being a desert. But here, let me play this other video real quick, because this is also things are going on that you don't really see. They don't really appear in the news. So alternative media is the source. A source.
This huge empty field in China. Well, it's actually not empty anymore. Satellite imagery shows that China has been building what Western officials think is a massive military command center, the Chinese version of the Pentagon. Except this is the Pentagon, and this is what China is building. It's like 10 times bigger than the Pentagon. And it looks like they're building it deep underground. And look, this thing is like 4 kilometers across. This is huge. Hundreds of cranes are working day and night to bring this thing to life, building underground tunnels and reinforced concrete, which is usually used to protect military officials during potentially a nuclear war. The US has a bunch of these all over the country: Colorado, Pennsylvania, Virginia. So yeah, this is another signal of China's intention to match and even surpass America's military might. I'm obviously going to keep following this, so make sure to subscribe.
So, you're seeing from that, the U.S. has deep underground military bunkers, or otherwise known as DUMBs, so they can, it's a contingency plan. So they're going to get there, whoever, officials, whatever, when the shit hits the fan, they're going to move these people to their DUMBs, and hopefully after the smoke clears, they're going to come back and reestablish the country to continue the government. But the scriptures say otherwise. We know that these people, the elites and whatnot, they're going to try to hide themselves underground, which, I'm going to, since I'm talking about it, let me just get this here. This is Revelation chapter 6, and I'll start at verse 13. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken Okay, yeah, that's fine. And when she is shaken of a mighty wind. So this is talking about the ICBMs. You know, just the ICBMs. You know, when they're in the sky, it's gonna look like stars crashing to the earth. Verse 14, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. So the heavens is describing the mushroom clouds. You know, this is going to be destroying everything. You know, it says every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Well, also in, I think I had that pulled up, Isaiah 24 and verse 20, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and it's so just that right there. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. The massive destruction that these ICBMs are gonna displace, what they're the type of damage they're gonna do, it's gonna shake the earth. You know, the earth is gonna be moving back and forth. Like, you ever seen a drunk person, or somebody so drunk they can't stand up straight? You know, they're swaying from side to side trying to get their balance. Well, this is the type of destruction that's getting ready to take place on the earth through the thermonuclear fire, the ICBMs. And it's going to be terrifying. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. So this place, Babylon the Great, it's not coming back. This is back to Revelation. I'll start at verse 14 again. Revelation 6 and verse 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every freeman hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. So, like how it was just going into the video, and they already have these kind of bunkers around the U.S. The guy listed off different places, but they're building one of these in China, and they might have multiple of them. But they're gonna try to survive what's getting ready to take place. You know, it's supposed to. This type of thing is supposed to survive a nuclear attack, which this is what the end of it is. You know, this is what they, like I said, we're gonna fight to the end. Well, the end, after a nuclear war, that's pretty much the end. You ain't coming back from it. And it's gonna hold the government officials. You think they're not gonna have servants with them? And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. So this is what's coming. Yahushua is coming back. You know, he's coming back in the chariots. And 2nd Ezra 13, you know, it said that he took out an innumerable multitude of an army that came up to fight him. And that's during World War III, which is going to be in the Valley of Yehoshaphat in the Middle East. So they're going to be trying to hide out from Yahushua, because these elites know what's getting ready to take place. Even though they're trying to fight against it, they know what's getting ready to take place. Verse 16 again, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? So this day is coming. This day hasn't happened yet. And ain't nobody going to be able to stand against Yahushua when he returns. Matter of fact, let me actually get that. I'm going to start at, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 3. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things that trembled that were seen under him. All the things trembled that were seen under him. So this is Yahushua. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. So this is Yahushua. He's returning. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. Because Yahushua is coming back. He left in the cloud. He's coming back in the cloud, which is code for the chariot. You're going to see a so-called black man coming in the chariot. So this is Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. So everybody's going to see him. Everybody that's here on earth that hadn't already died yet during this time. Because up until this point, there's already going to be a lot of people dying. And behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, amen. So all the different people of the earth, all the different tribes of the earth, the Moabites and Chinese are in their bunkers, the Americans over in their bunkers, whatever. Everybody's going to be, that's not expecting to see Yahushua. The hopeful elect, they're going to be glad. We're going to be glad to see Yahushua. We're going to be glad to see them chariots come and put an end to this wickedness on the earth. So behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, amen. So this is going to be a big day. It's going to be a day to remember, because this is the day that Yahushua returns, puts these kingdoms under his feet. It's a day that is over for you. That's why it's a day of great, these people are going to be mourning. The heathen are going to be mourning. 2 Ezra chapter 13 and verse 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. So all these nations, they're already going to be at war. War is already going to be taking place. Matter of fact, let me get this. Because here, this is Matthew 24 and verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So the signs of Yahushua is coming and the end of the world. Not necessarily, not meaning the end of the world's going to blow up. But this word for world is here, G165, aeon, meaning an age, a period of time. Now we're if you read Daniel 2, we're in the feet of the statue that Nebuchadnezzar had to dream about. And if you read Daniel chapter 7, we're in the part of the fourth beast. Now, if you continue reading in Daniel chapter 7, it says that after a while, somewhere in there, roughly paraphrasing, that the saints took the kingdom, meaning the Israelites. And this is speaking of when Yahushua returns. Now, this here is speaking of that, because during this time, which is that fourth beast is speaking of the Roman Empire. During this time when the Yahushua's disciples are asking Yahushua about that, when is it time for him to rule, pretty much, the Romans were ruling. So Yahushua never came back and took down the Romans. That's in this time. This is the revived Roman Empire. So this is the signs that Yahushua is returning, when it's going to be the end of this revived Roman Empire, this age, this period of time. So Matthew 24 and verse 4, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. So listen close, so that nobody deceives you. Because there's people out there that say it's not going to happen, that this already took place, that we're in the second covenant, that it's not going to be for another 1,000 years, this, that, whatever. Let nobody deceive you, because these things have not taken place. Verse 5, For many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, which Christ means anointed, and shall deceive many. You have people that claim that they're, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. They claim that they're Jesus and return to follow them. You have people that say that they're anointed, that they're the Messiah, this, that, whatever. You have false prophets out there in Israel that claim that they're leaders. But the scriptures all give us signs. It gives us clues, identifiers. How to identify a true prophet, how to identify a false prophet. The scriptures give you all that. It tells you how to discern, which really is through the Spirit. But this is made known to you. And only the elect are really going to get it. Verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So this is what really, sparked the lesson, was seeing that about, China, and we're down for whatever. It's whatever, fool. That attitude being put out there, hey, it doesn't matter if it's a trade war or any kind of war. We're down to fight to the end. And then before that, I have found a video of the different kind of bunkers that they're going to build, which it don't matter because once Yahushua returns, the elect receive the new bodies, and those elites, all them people that trying to hide underground, they're going to be the first ones to go into slavery, starting with Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. So, hey, go ahead and build all that stuff. You're just going to be that first generation of slaves in the new world. So, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. So, you don't hear about wars, all kinds of things. It's small hats fighting a war on 8 fronts. Good for them. You don't hear about in the Congo, some Sudan, Somalia, over here. A war's gonna break out over here. All over the world. Hey, even in the Middle East, it's gonna be where all the troops are gonna be gathered. Let me see, is that Joel 3? This is Joel chapter 3 and verse 1. For behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. So this is both the entire 12 tribes, not just the Jews, but both the southern and northern kingdom. We're being gathered together right now by this word. It's not any of us waking up the nations. It's the word working through us. It's Yahweh Shem Yahushua working through his men that he set up, starting with the apostles and elders, and the men that taught them on down of Great Millstone. The apostles and elders of Great Millstone on down. And the men that taught them, starting with the Abba Bibbins. So we're being gathered together by this word. Verse 2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat. So all the nations, they're going to be gathered together in the valley of Yehoshaphat, which Yahweh Shaphat, or Jehoshaphat, which means Yehoshaphat means Yahweh, and Shaphat means judgment. So Yahweh's judgment. These nations are getting ready to be judged, and will plead with them there, which plead don't mean the Lord is going to be on his hands and knees begging these nations. No, what I'm reading in 2nd Ezra 13, that's going to be the Lord pleading with them. Lord willing, I'll get back to it. So, and I will also gather the nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So the Israelites, we've been scattered amongst all the different nations. Different nations had their way with us. They touched the apple of Yahweh Shem Yahushua's eye. They parted our land. Look at what the small hats are looking to do with our land. They're looking to build, resorts and oil refineries and this and that, and build canals, and all that's going to be brought to nothing. But let me get back to Matthew Matthew 24, verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So the end is not yet. You're going to hear about wars. You're going to hear about different things. What's exciting is this news about China. We're looking to see what's this going to escalate to, because we know eventually it's going to escalate to full-out war. It's going to escalate to this place being destroyed by thermonuclear fire. So each step, it's a little bit exciting because we're getting closer and closer. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So you're going to see nations rise up against each other. You're going to see this, whether it be here or wherever. China, the Moabites against the Edomites. The different immigrants, all kinds of people here in Babylon the Great. Even in Europe, the EU, NATO, it's divided. There's divisions everywhere. And it's beautiful to see. But also, let's see here, famines and pestilences, which famines, you're going to see that. People are going to die. A lot of people are going to die from starvation. A lot of people are going to die from diseases. And earthquakes in diverse places. I just had this, let me just finish this out. Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows. So this is just the beginning, because still more has to happen. Like I mentioned, World War III, the MOTB, the RFID CHIP has to be implemented. If you want to survive in this new world that's coming, that's headed over by Esau Edom, you're going to have to get this RFID CHIP, which is going to have all your information, your biometrics, your banking information, everything that you're going to need. And it's going to be like a badge of servitude. You're pledging your allegiance to Esau Edom if you get this, his new world order. Let me see here. What was that? Just to show this real quick. Now, this is earthquakes.usgs.gov. And I have it set to, you can go here. I just have it set to 1 day, all magnitudes, and it auto updates. Now, click back to this world map. This is all the earthquakes that just happened over a 24-hour period. And it's all magnitudes. So it's, ranging from a 1 to, the max, to a major earthquake, where you see here red near, which that's only, I'm not sure if that's the right one to click. But you'll see different kinds, the different colors. But that's just the last 24 hours. Now, I can change that again and go to 7 days, the last week. And you see earthquakes all over the world. Change it again, 30 days. All over the world, you see earthquakes, all over. But continuing on, I'm going to go back to Revelation, 2nd Ezra 13, because Yahushua is returning. This is beautiful times. We're looking forward to seeing Yahushua. We're looking forward to be saved out of this wicked world. And let me see here. Revelation on the mind. 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. And this is Yahushua. And it said he come up with the clouds, Revelation 1 and 7. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, so Yahushua's chariot, Ezra is seeing this, and he's seeing his chariot was so big that he couldn't see the ends of it. You couldn't see where it started, where it began. Verse 8, after this I beheld, and lo, All they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. So, hey, they're going to see Yahushua. They're going to be terrified. But the spirit, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, is going to give them the spirit to continue to fight. To try to fight against Yahushua. And it's going to be no contest. Verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. So Yahushua, he's not going to meet you like a man. He's not coming with a sword in his hand or anything like that. He's coming in that chariot, the glory of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Verse 10, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been, a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. So the chariot, he's going to shoot out an intense laser beam. Verse 11, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So, hey, that laser was so intense that an innumerable multitude that was gathered together to fight against Yahushua was just turned into dust and smoke. They just got evaporated, eviscerated. Whatever kind of irradiated, they got done. They got wasted, turned to ashes in an instant. The whole army just like that. Hey, and this is gonna be beautiful, and we hope these things escalate. We hope it continues to escalate to Yahushua's return. But a Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. Shalom.